Okay, welcome back, guys, from the break. Okay, so we got to look at how we can customize our homepage, how we can customize our icon bar, our menu bar, and we got to look at the difference between the user and company preferences. And we finally introduced to you guys what the items list is. Now, there are two ways you can get to the items list, maybe actually three now that it's on the company as well. You could go here on your home page, right? It's under company, under items and services. So that will take you to your items list right there. Okay. You can also go through the items list by going up to the menu bar under lists and you go to items list. Okay. And now that I mentioned that, come under company, I don't see items list on the company.
Well, to the left of that, you're on the customers.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. Oopsies. There, where'd it go? Here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's there, right? The
Uh,
list,
under list.
Celeste, set up the user. No, where's the list?
I have customers credits. That's weird because chart of accounts is on here, but not the but not items list. Okay, so there's only two ways to look at items list. It's either on the home page under items and services, or which is under the company, or it's under list. Now, if we look at this, there are a bunch of other lists that we can also customize. We can customize your price list. You can, customize your payroll list. And you can customize almost any list on here, right? You can customize your class list, payroll, sales tax, all of those things, right? You can customize all of them. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I want you guys to read this section just because, it's not super important to know. I just want you to know that it exists. Price levels is going to be based on, what kind of price level you're going to charge them at. So, for example, if they're a wholesaler, you would charge them at a lower rate because they're a business. But if, or for example, when we're looking at sales tax, right? You can only charge sales tax for certain things, right? You can only still charge sales tax for items. If you do business out of the state, then you have to charge out of state taxes depending on where their state is located. Other things that you want to can apply to this is also maybe since we looked at we described how sales tax uh, affects where your county is, right? For example, I gave that example, right? If I was able to charge a higher price because I was in LA County versus Orange County, same thing here. I don't know if there's a difference between Henderson or North Las Vegas, if their percentage is lower or higher. I don't know that because I don't do business over there. But if you do business over there, it's also good to know that maybe you need to take a look at what county you belong to and see why our things are so expensive. And you'd be so surprised like how different they are. Okay? Just by slightly how separate, like just by driving down the street, you wouldn't believe the difference there is. So other than that, and then we have payroll items. Payroll items are things that we're going to talk about when we dive into the payroll chapter. So chapter 10 and chapter 11, which is going to come up on the third week. So we're going to be looking at entering things such as, do you have commissions? What kind of benefits do you offer? Like, do you offer 401k? Do you offer Medicare or a medical insurance? Do you offer dental insurance, eye insurance? Whatever it is that you do, any benefit it is to a employee, for the employer, whatever it is, you're going to create the list there or edit the payroll list there. Classes, okay. We'll talk about classes when we dive into chapter 2. what classes are is basically classes kind of separate your line of business, whether it's based on a location, your department, based on department. It could even be categorized as by item itself. But in this case, I guess I exited out of it. What that was it. Ooh, no. So what class does is you could also have items here if you're going to separate something for like a custom job or something like that, okay? So for this is an example, here we have Walnut Creek and we have San Jose. These are our store locations. So what we could do with this piece of information is we can separate, you know, what if we did better sales in Walnut Creek than it is for San Jose? We can compare and contrast. So that's what class is for. And what you can do here is you can edit by saying, oh, I have a total of 5 locations. I'm going to list them all out. Maybe I don't want to separate this by location. I'd rather separate it by department, right? So whatever you want to do there, but it's only based, and when we dive into chapter 2, it's based on a few specific things before you can even do it, okay? But so I want you guys to read upon that, having to deal with how to change or customize your price level list, all right? The next thing that we're going to be looking into is going to be customizing custom fields. Okay, so this one I'm going to say is also part of chapter 4, because when we dive into entering information about our customers, we're going to actually allow to have custom fields. And what these custom fields do is they actually provide a little more details into like for example, when we need to add a little piece of information, we're allowed to add that piece of information if it's necessary. Now I'm going to give you an example, so let's go ahead and check out our vendor center, right? If I go here and let's say, since this is so small, I'm going to select a supply, right? There are our vendor, right? If I go down to additional information, I'm going to have this little area called custom fields. Now this custom fields option here is going to allow you to enter in any extra information that's relevant to whether it is your customer, your employee, or whether it is your vendor, okay? So I'm going to tell you this. When we have custom fields, okay, so this is a number that these numbers you have to keep in mind. If we go down here and go to find fields, you're going to get this little window. This little window is going to tell you right here that you can only have the maximum of 15 custom items. Okay? You can only have the maximum of 15. All right? Now, for each person, right? So whether they're a customer, vendor, or employee, they can only have a total of 7. Now you're thinking, hold up, wait. Let me add this up correctly. If I can have 7 custom fields per customer, and then I can have it per vendor, and I can have it per employee, that's a total of 21. How can you have 15 items squeezed into 21? And that's where I'm coming to tell you that your list can only consist of 15 and 15, and that's it. You can use multiple items. So for example, if I wanted to write that maybe I want to know their spouse's name. Oopsies, I'm in capitals. to have it on, if I were to create that little custom field for spouse's name, I have a choice. Oopsies. Let's undo that. There you go. I can have this apply on my customers list. I can have this apply to my vendors list, and I can have this apply to my employees. Right? Because this item here can apply on all three. Now, for example, I have, I think I already have spouse's name up here. So I can change this, and I'm going to make it into business, business date. So I want to know, oops. I want to know what my business date is. Now, does that apply to a customer? No. That only applies for a vendor, right?
Right.
And then what about my employees?
Not employees.
No. But what I can do is for spouse's name, I want that to be on my customers, my vendors, and my employees, right? I want to be able to create a conversation with them. Now, what if I say I want also, let's say I found out what their hobby is, right? I can also apply hobby to all three. And what's going to happen is if I click OK, this OK up here, it's going to create these custom fields into my list right here. All right. So again, I can only have the maximum of 15 items. Right. And within these 15 items, I can only select 7 for each one. So that is what I mean by 15 and 7. All right. You can only create 7 per person, and in total you have a total of 15 custom fields. So again, I created these fields myself right here. So I have spouse's name, I have the business date, and I even have their hobby. What kind of hobby have they done, right? So that's what you could do as far as custom fields. You could create customizable things for specific people. Now, what if it's for items? Okay, so you can create custom fields for items as well. And that's going to entail, so for example, right? I want to create a custom field for an item. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this and close out of this, and I'm going to go to my chart of accounts. So this is what I was talking about how you can customize your chart of accounts. So here we have other asset and assets accounts receivable, right? So bank, accounts receivable, other current assets, and fixed assets, right? Those are all customizable. It doesn't have to say bank. Now, because this one says bank, I'm going to edit this information, for example, right? Actually, no, I shouldn't do that. That's gonna change a lot. So for example, if I were to right click this, right, and I were to edit this information, instead of it saying bank, I can actually customize it so it doesn't say bank. Now for this specific reason, right, it won't allow me to change it. Reason being is because there's already more than, there's already 5 items in here. So the one thing that you can't do is when you're trying to change your chart of accounts is, unfortunately, you can only have 5. Okay, again, you can only have 5 when it comes to accounts. All right, so again, 15, 7, and 5. 15 is the total number of custom fields. 7 is for people, so employees, customers, and vendors. And 5 is for items. So again, even creating the items here, you can create up to 5 items underneath each one. Okay, but I wouldn't be able to do it because I already have my bank here. I have accounts receivable. I have already 5 items under here already. All right. Same thing with my liabilities. They're already they're already set into place. So I can't really change it. But if I wanted to, it doesn't have to say bank. It can say checking. Okay, so that's a custom field right there. All right. But unfortunately, I won't be able to show you an example. But that's okay. It's okay. As far as that, yeah. That's just an FYI. So you can change the information that you have appeared on here. All right, now that we went over custom fields, last thing that we're going to be looking at is going to be how to customize your sales forms. So now this is really cool. This is the cool part of your section here. So what you could do is you could create template forms that can be you could design it how you want to have for your specific company to display your customers things like that. So for example, right, I want to create a template that a sales receipt, right? I want that template to have my company logo on it. I want it to have a color scheme on it. Whatever you want to do, you can customize each form. So again, when I go like this, so I'm gonna exit out of this because I want you to know what a form even looks like. All right. Okay. So when we say customizable templates, things like that, right? Now, if I were to enter a bill, right? To me, this is my form here, right? Yes. If I wanted to do a specific one, let's say I want to send my customers, right? I can send them statements, right? Okay. If I were to click this, right? It's going to allow me to create a statement for my customers. And in this case, I'm going to try to do a quick preview. Okay. All right. Okay. Why can't I?
This is for all customers.
Yeah. I'm trying to. It's not letting me do it. Okay. And I want it for. Okay, this time period. Don't create one for that one. Print due dates on them. Do not create with 0 balances. Okay, how about I do one customer? Okay. And I want to use Academy Trading Institute. Actually, no. Let's do Anderson Wedding. Okay? And then now it says customers currently selected for statements creation is Anderson Wedding. I say okay. So why aren't you showing me? I don't know. This is really weird. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why it's not working. But it's not showing me the statement. Okay. Well, anyways, when you look at in your book, it shows you a small depiction of what a statement can look like, right? A bill that comes from your actual thing. So, for example, if I were to click my templates here, I can see that I have a photo service template already. Now, if I double click it, it's going to show me what it looks like on my right side of the screen. Now, to me, that looks like a typical invoice. But the one thing is, it's boring. Okay? There's no company logo on it. There's nothing on there except for just my title and stuff. All right? Now, I can customize it however I want it to look like. So for example, right, what you're going to do is before you even do anything, right, you want to make sure that this is, okay, so this is the Academy Photography Services invoice. So this is a preset invoice for Academy Photography. Now, just by looking at it, I already could see that you need to have a company logo on here. You need to have things to make it look a little more personal, a little more like it came from my business. Okay? So what I can do is I can select what kind of things I want to have for. I can also select to use a logo. So if I click yes, I want to use a logo, it's going to allow me to search my computer for a logo. And for this class, we actually do have a logo. It's under LVP to accounting, this. Okay, so it's in here. And it's going to be my class copy. And it's going to be here, logo.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's going to say give you this message. You're going to say okay. So here, if you look here very carefully, that's what the logo looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that is how you can customize your little page right there. You could do that. Now there's also manage template, right? If you click this, this is where it's gonna ask you, well, what do you want to have on your actual template page, right? What kind of details do you want to have on there, for example, right? Do I want, whoa. I hit the wrong one. Okay. I can incorporate another one if I wanted to in here. That's not what I want. I want this one. Okay, my bad. So once I've done that, so I want to use my logo. Now it's going to say, do you want to apply any color schemes? Well, yes, I do. I want to have color schemes. So in this case, it says, well, what kind of color do you want? Well, I'm going to say that my company is actually none of these colors,
Yeah.
right?
Not a great selection.
Not a great selection. I'm going to say it's maroon. All right. Now, if you look very, very carefully, it's actually in maroon, but obviously we can't really see. Now, it's going to ask you, do you want to change the title or what kind of fonts you want to use for? In this case, I want to change the title. Okay. If I were to do that, I'm going to change the font. And let's say I want it to be, I can have it like this. I can have it this one. I want something that will stand out.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, I think this one's a good one, right?
Yeah, that'll stand out.
Yeah, that one's gonna stand out, and I want my freaking title to be in really large font. So I'm gonna go for a nice 28 sounds good, right? And if you look carefully, it changes it on the form for you.
Oh, okay.
So I say okay. So my title has been changed to a bigger font right here. It's right here. Invoice is in that one, and it's definitely really big. Okay. If I want to change my company name, right? All right. I select that. Click change the font, and I'm going to select the same font that I had before. Ooh, maybe I'll use this one right here. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this one also size. I want it to be the biggest thing that you see. I'm going to make it size 36. All right, and I'm going to click OK. And boom, right there.
Oh, wow.
Academy. But unfortunately, it only fit the words Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to shrink that one to make sure that it's able to show up all of it. But yes, you can customize a lot of things on here. You even customize the date. You can change the font for that and change the colors for that. So that's what you can do here. Now, company and transaction for information. Now, this is going to ask you, well, what do you need to have on there? Of course, you need your company name. Of course, you need your company address. Of course, if you have a fax number, you can use it. If not, you don't have to. I want to also put my company email address, my company phone number. That is definitely something you want to have on there, right? You want some way to be for people to contact you.
So you have to do those one by one though?
Yeah, apparently. So here I select all of them, and what's gonna happen is it should post either at the top. I could see my address at the top, but I think it's because my number, my title is so big. I need to
Yeah,
shrink my title.
kind of overwhelms the rest.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make it back to what was it, 21?
Was it 21? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then oh, okay. Well, it didn't change. It didn't change it that way. Wait, what? What? Why?
We did 28.
Oh,
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 yeah.
oh, my bad. 28.
I think you only have 22 you can do, 20 and 22.
There you go.
Okay.
That doesn't look like it changed either. But yes, you can add your titles,
Not much.
not by much, but yes, you can put your title there. And then by you entering all this information in, of course, you would have to have this information in your in your information. So I do have that. I do have a phone number. I do have an email address. So it is there. So I'm gonna click OK. All right, and it should. I don't even know where it's supposed to be located. On the page somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna click print preview. So here I'll be able to expand my stuff. So I have it in Pleasanton, California. It's there. Invoice is there, but I don't see any of my company's information. That's so weird.
Yeah, I guess not showing that.
Yep. Well, it's possible that my title's just way too big.
Yeah. It's like blocking something, so something.
It is blocking the address. Yes,
Well,
it is.
The address is right behind the title. You can see it right
Yeah,
behind
oh,
the
okay.
title.
That's what's, I knew something was behind it, that's the address.
Written right over it.
Um. Okay, so company and transactional information. Um. Um.
The logo is actually the one on the left, right? With the
Yes,
white
that's
print.
correct.
Okay, so that's the logo.
Correct.
Yeah.
And our title is, why is it over the address?
I don't know. I think I just changed. I think it could be the font, because I made changes because it just says so then you can see what it is. But I don't even remember what it was originally. So, I'm just gonna go for Arial. And I'm gonna change it to size 18 and click OK. And I have it as the maroon color. All right. That also looked like it didn't make a difference either.
No, it's not changing it.
Yeah, it's not changing it. Well, oh, duh, because it's the company name, not the title.
Oh,
Ha ha ha. So sorry. That was my fault. So if I were to shrink this, what did I say? Arial?
You were just Arial. Yeah.
Arial, and I change this to 24 or 22. Click OK. So there you go. I see my address here. Labels, dates. So yeah, I don't have any other things I can do here, but let me see. For company transactional information, yeah, I should have this on there. I have the if I let me see what happens if I unselect. See, if I were to do that, then my company address is gone. But if I were to click that, it's there. So where is my email address?
oh.
Yeah, we see other information that, I mean, you have it checked like it's supposed to be on there.
And my phone address, phone number. Okay, well, apparently I don't see it on there, so
Yeah.
I have no idea where that is. But definitely, if I were to select my address, it pops up there. So it's supposed to pop up in the same area. So my phone number should be there.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if we click on the update information?
Oh, no, update information is to update your company profile information.
Oh,
So
So
I do have my
oh,
phone number right
oh,
here.
but it's there,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I already clicked print preview and it wasn't even there either. So, I mean, as far as like if you could arrange it, you might be able to arrange it. Maybe you can have the stuff there, you know, how it is. But I know for sure that if you're going to customize a sales form like this, it depends on what the item is going to be as far as what are you
look on
selling.
the bottom there. See, I think I see the phone number. No,
At the bottom?
bottom here of your invoice. Um,
Where it says total?
yeah, right
Oh,
under
yeah,
there.
you're right. I
Under
see
there?
it. That's an address.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on
Oh,
the other
there
side
is
on
the
the
phone
left side
number.
is the phone number.
Oh, okay, so that's where it is. So, yes,
Yeah.
email
It's just
address,
so
website.
small.
So, if I click email address, it pops up right down below.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so it is there. All right. So, that's how you customize it. So, it is in the color maroon. So, all the information, everything that you want to place in there, you can place in there. So, that's how it looks now. Now, that's just looking on the outside of what you can do for your company stuff. Okay, so but let's say I do want to do additional customization, or I want to do how a the layout is designed. So what I can do is I get to actually choose how I want to actually customize my layout. Let's say I don't want the billing information right here. I want my company logo right here. So if I want my company information, I can click and drag over here and be like, well, my company is Academy Photography right here instead of at the top. I can have my address also click and drag. I want it right here so people know where this came from. And then my logo, right? I want my logo. Let me see if I can try to make it real big. So then there you go. If I want it on my invoice like that, I can make it like that. So I have the Academy Photography logo right there, printed right there. And I have my title here and my address here. And if I really wanted to, since I was like looking for my I was looking for my email and address and stuff, I could go ahead and bring that right up here. I could bring my email address up here, and I could bring up my um, website here.
Oh, okay.
So I can move all my information to where how I think is visible. So in this case, I'm all over my my invoice here, but I want to make sure that I can be able to squeeze it in here. All right, and my phone number is going to be here. All right. So you can customize it like that if you like. You could change the layout. If you don't like something, you can move it, make it smaller, make it shorter. However you want to customize it, it's based on the company's preferences. All right. So in this case, I was able to arrange my info into one area, put my logo, make it bigger, make it like the primary thing that you see when you open up this thing. So you can do a lot with Intuit. And Intuit also has preset templates for you that you can apply So I'm going to cancel because I'm not going to mess with this thing. I'm going to leave it how it is, just like that. And like I said, I have a color scheme maroon. Now maroon can be hard to see, so I'm going to change it back to black just so that it's easy to see. All right. So that is how you can customize your sales forms, your other things that you can do. So if I go click manage my report or templates, yeah. When I go, sorry, it's been a long day. if I were to close this out, right? This is the list of all the templates that I have available in here. So most of it are invoices. I'm trying to open up the window a little bigger. So you can see most of it are invoices, other ones are estimates, other ones are your sales orders, other ones, so these ones are just preset ones that you typically see. You have credit memos if you want to send those out. You have sales receipts, so if you want to, instead of an invoice, right? Let's say you want to print out a receipt for the day that the transaction happened. You fill out information in and you print it out right here with the preset things. You can even do purchase orders to preset how your company reaches out to another vendor, right? To do a purchase order. You can do that as well. Okay? The only one that you don't see on this list is a check.
Yes. Ah, so that's the answer.
That is the
I was just
answer.
trying to get.
Yes. You can never customize a check, and we'll talk about that when we review our stuff right now. Okay?
Yeah, I think we have to order that directly from.
Okay. Yes, you can. And no, you can't. So I'll explain my yes and no answers as soon as we go ahead and go through our review questions. So here's custom fields here. Keep reading it so you can know how to customize that. Modifying sales forms is what I just taught you and what you can do when you modify them. And then let's see what happens next. So you can change almost a lot of the information here. Review questions. All right. So here we are. Review question number 1. All right. You can create custom fields for A, customers, B, templates, C, vendors, or D, both A and C. Yes. Yes, you can't make custom fields for templates. All right, you just create it. There's no, yeah, you know what I mean. No. So yeah, A and C is correct. Number 2, which of the 2 types of preferences are there? A, user and company. B, user and accountant. C, favorites and general. Or D, income and expenses. A, yes. I talked about this many times. There's a user preference and there is your company preferences. All right, number 3, if you don't see the favorites menu in your menu bar, you can do what? A, customize the templates window. B, customize icon bar window. C, view menu. Or D, window menu.
D.
No, that's not the right answer.
Oh, it's not?
No.
See the favorites menu in your menu bar. You can turn it on in the customize templates window. Customize icon. Yeah,
Oh, the icon, yes.
yeah, that's gotta be it.
Right.
No.
No?
Okay, then
Because
it's C.
because we're talking about the menu bar. Yes. Okay.
That makes sense, that's right. The view menu is what really has a lot of stuff.
Yes. So
Wait a minute. Okay, so what?
the question it was asking, okay? So in case you're trying to customize your menu bar, right? The only exception that you can customize is your favorites menu. Okay? Now, it was asking you what if you don't see this option on your menu bar. So it's asking you, well, how do I view it? You're going to have to go here. So here, right? So see here's the question I was asking. You don't see your menu, you don't see your favorites bar.
Favorites, yeah.
Right.
You got to go to view, and right here says you can show your favorites. Yes.
Okay.
That's what the
So
question was asking.
Asking out from the menu bar.
Yes.
Where to go. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That is what it was asking. Yes. Okay, question number 4. Okay, which of the following is not an available template type in QuickBooks? Okay, so we got A, we got credit memos, B, we got statements, we got C, check, or D, sales receipt.
C.
C. Yes. Okay. So again, when we were looking at our templates menu, okay. So if I go to list and I go to my templates, right? So it's asking you, well, what kind of template can you create? So again, a credit memo, whether you're sending it to your customers, if they return an item for you, right? You have to either give them money back or send them a credit memo. And that's exactly what you can do. If you want to customize it to your company, you can customize the credit memo to your company. Okay? And that is an option. Let me see what option B was. Option B was creating a statement. So we just actually looked at creating a statement. Remember? What we were doing was working on a statement to bill our customers. So yes, it's also an option right here. Yes. Okay. And then let's see what the third one was. It's just sales receipt. Yes. If a customer pays you, you can make a pretty receipt, or like an invoice, right? So for example, I had a T-shirt business. The minute I paid, of course they don't have a cash register, so they printed me out a sales receipt, and that's what you can do, right? Why can you not do a check?
Well, you wouldn't, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think
You wouldn't do a template. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
thought
go
you-
ahead. No, there's
I'm
some kind
sorry.
of delay. No, well, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that a check is, like a legal document, or you can't do a template or make that into a template.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going on the right lines.
Yeah, it
Okay.
takes, I think, either special ink or special type of paper.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes to all of that is true. Now I'm gonna give you this scenario. Okay. If for in fact, let's say you are able to create a custom template for a check, what are the key things that you must have on a check to be valid?
You know, the name of the person, um, the
Account
address, the
numbers.
date, and account numbers, right?
Not address. You don't
Routing-
need an
routing numbers
address.
and account numbers.
Routing number is an account number. Yes, you need to have an account number.
Mhm.
What else do you need to have?
Check numbers,
Check numbers. Good.
your company name.
Okay. You don't need to have a company name per se. You definitely don't need an address.
Oh, okay.
You need a person's name.
You need the persons that you're paying to. Good. What else do you need to have?
And a signature.
You need a signature. Yes, of course you need a signature. What else do you need to have? There's 2 more things that are very important to checks.
The date.
The date. Yes, for when the check is available. What else? What's the last thing? What do you write checks for?
Oh, the amount of money.
The amount of money. You see how many details there are? Now, if you get to create your own template, I'm going to ask you this. If you're not the professional of making checks and knowing all that details that you have to have, you are most likely to forget one of those things.
Right.
All right. Now, what you can do is you can order like a design on your checkbook. Yes, you can. But for businesses, we like to keep it nice and simple. All right. It is required to have a special ink, and you do need a special paper. But any printer can do it
Yeah, that's true.
as long as you have the actual legal paper. Then yes, you can do it.
Yeah, I think it has to have isn't a watermark that has to be on there, something like that.
I believe so. It's like the paper that they have. It's like the federal
Yeah.
government paper. It's like a shiny imprint on it. Yeah, it has to be a legal. I guess it has a special print on it, like a something like on it. And if you actually feel the paper, it's actually different too. It's not like their standard printable paper. Now, what you can do is you can print copies of checks. Yeah, that's fine. If it has no purpose or anything like that, yes, you can on a regular piece of paper. But yes, those things have to entail, and you're more likely to forget, one of those things, say three things, if you're going to have the chance to have a customizable check. All right? But in this case, no, it's not an available option because you cannot manipulate how the check looks or what the details like. You can't have the amount number in big huge in the top of the screen with big huge numbers right there. No, of course you can't have that. It's usually standard. Yes, it's usually standard because one thing that has to stay true is it has to be readable. It has to be legible, or the way that the check is formatted, right? You go to a bank, if you're going to deposit a check and you customize this check, you're guaranteed that the bank is not going to recognize it. Okay? So that's why you cannot change the format or a template or a style of what a check looks like. All right, lastly, if you pay sales tax to more than one agency, you should use which of the following item types? A, sales tax group, B, group, or, okay, yes, so yes. B. Yeah, A is the correct answer, sales tax group. Yes, and this is what this is when Lee, this is when you were chiming in, when I was explaining, well, you can separate them if you're paying to two different organizations. Now, if you're paying just one organization, then you're more than welcome to just use one account because essentially it's all going to go to that same agency. Now, yes, you can create two separate ones like what I did because you may have a different location in a different county, right? I can have multiple stores. So one is going to definitely be for the county clerk, and the other one's definitely going to be in Henderson. The other one's going to be in North Las Vegas. For whatever county it is, and it might be charging me a different number every time. All right, so good job, guys. That is it. That's your quiz for today. And, yep. Any other questions on anything I went over today in class?
This was really interesting. I like this session. And it's really good to see that you're going into, the QuickBooks and you see just how to manipulate and to move things around, and that's interesting.
So yeah, so you can do a lot of things that Intuit can do for you, and that's why this is a good business startup, to have QuickBooks, because it ultimately can help you build your business. It can help market your business. It's a really good asset. It's just super expensive.